Some people spend their whole lives trying to fit in, not realizing that thing that makes them different is probably the thing that could change their life. So my job allows me to think. The other day I clocked in and all I'm doing, my first task, is to dust off wine bottles. And that kind of stuff is just me, the wine bottle, and the towel that I'm using to wipe off the dust. So of course, all I'm gonna be doing is thinking, being in my head. And that's what allowed me to come up with the idea to what we're gonna talk about in this video today. So my first thought process, because I think in like branches, I go from one thing to the next, and then it builds to a full thought. So my first thought is, what do you think the margin is between an NBA starter and an NBA bench player? Me personally, I don't think the margin is that far away. I think honestly it's probably about like 5%. So if the margin is that small from an actual starter and an NBA bench player, because they're both very skilled, like if you make it to the NBA, you are in the top 0.1%. I won't even say 1%. You made it to the highest level. But what's gonna make that starter stand out? And then I start thinking, Eddie, what makes you different? Like in your day-to-day life, what's gonna make you stand out? Why do you think you're gonna be able to be successful? And a lot of people around you here in this like normal day-to-day life, normal 9-to-5 workplace, a lot of them didn't go after their dreams or are not going after their dreams, and their life just passes them by. So what do you think is different for you that you think you're gonna be able to succeed in your dreams? I'm not gonna go into the specific qualities that I think I have that make me different, but I just want to give you the perspective and make you internally look at yourself and see what kind of stuff makes you different. What kind of stuff makes you stand out from the crowd, stand out from your group of friends, or from people at your school. And I want you guys to go ahead and comment below if you can think of anything right now off the top of your head, or if anything comes to mind throughout this video. I want you to comment what you think makes you stand out as a person that you never seen in anybody else. Or maybe you have, but it's not the normal thing, like those weird quirky things, those nerdy facts that you know about that you know that people really don't care about, or you notice that they don't. But let's go ahead and get into the video. So I remember wanting to fit in so bad and do the same thing as everyone else around me was doing, especially when I was young, specifically in middle school. And I know middle school is a very big turning point for a lot of people. Everyone is going through puberty, so middle school is like very, very pivotal. But specifically middle school marked me because I wanted to fit in so bad. If you're anywhere near my age or around my age, you remember those Nike Elite socks that everyone had on in middle school. Not only the Elite socks, but the Elite socks paired with Sperry's. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, now that I think about it, what were we doing, y'all? Like, oh my God. But anyways, I wanted to wear things like that, and down to like haircuts and stuff like that. Like, hey bro, where do you get your haircut at? Oh, Sports Clips? Oh yay, I want to go get my haircut at Sports Clips. And now that I look back at it, I'm glad my parents didn't let me go into all this shit. And my mom always was there to make me dress differently and get my haircut with the Dominican barbers and the Puerto Rican barbers. Because for those of you that don't know, I'm Puerto Rican, guys. So I was standing out anyways without even trying. But me wanting to fit in so bad with the demographic around where I grew up is predominantly white, and I was trying to get their haircuts. Like, yo, we don't even have the same hair. Like, Eddie, why are you trying to do that? But what I realize now is that I was different for a reason, and I didn't want the same things as everybody did around me. We didn't have our minds on the same thing. We also didn't have the same goals. I remember at one point, a teacher brought up somebody going to the NBA, and she said, oh, well, if somebody comes up to you and they say they want to go to the NBA, then you can just tell them that they can't do it because they're probably not going to be tall enough, and the odds are really, really stacked against you. Now, this was a year after I left middle school. But anyways, the point of that story is that everyone, the whole class, when she said that, looked at me. Not anybody else. They looked at me. Why? Because they knew that I was that delusional that was going to be like, I'm going to the NBA. And I honestly still believe that I could do it. If I put my mind to it, I could go to the NBA. I say that to say that I was different in my thought process. I was delusional, and I was willing to do anything, like absolutely anything, to achieve my dreams. And you should too. That is part of the reason why I have this channel, to talk to you guys about my younger self. This is something that my younger self would have loved to hear. So as we just segued again from the video idea, we're gonna go right back to it. So I'm thinking, Eddie, what makes you different? What's gonna make you stand out from the crowd? Specifically right now, since this is the stage where I'm in life, I'm at work and I'm thinking, what's gonna separate me from the people that are at work? Why am I gonna be successful in a short time period and they're not? As I'm thinking about this video right now, I'm writing notes on my 30-minute lunch, like on a 30-minute break. And I don't say that just to boast or like, oh, look at me, ha ha. I'm saying that more so to prove the point that nobody else is writing notes. I don't see anyone else. I see everyone else on their phones watching a show or something like that. And I'm not saying that you can't watch a show for fun. I'm saying the consistency. Like, people are just not focused on leaving work, like getting out of work, not having to work anymore, retiring. People are not focused on that. They're focused on the day-to-day, like clock in, clock out, go have fun, clock back in, clock out. So how does this affect you, and how do you go about thinking about this? Whatever process you're in life, whether you're in middle school, elementary school, high school, college, wherever you are listening to this, I want you to embrace that difference. Think about that thing that makes you different from everyone else around you and embrace it. Don't shy away from it. If you have a different, weird sense of humor, fuck it, you enjoy that. If you have some show that you like that's not trendy at all and everybody thinks it's stupid, I want you to enjoy it, and I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to feel like you have to go watch Euphoria because everyone is talking about it. No, you can grow up on Johnny Test. That's okay. That's your cup of tea. SpongeBob, go watch it. If you enjoy it like that, go watch your show. If you're an ambitious person like me, think to yourself, where am I being different? How am I being different from the people around me? How am I being my unique self? Because at the end of the day, we are all works of art. Every single one of us is one of one. The only thing that we relate in is that we're all humans. We all have the certain DNA components and same blood color and all that stuff. But every single one of us is one of one, and there is no copy. Even if you have a twin, you still are not the same copy. Because whether you're competing for a position at work, like a promotion, or you're at basketball tryouts or whatever sport you play, whether you're a guy or you're a girl, what are you doing that the next person beside you is not doing? If you find yourself dressing different, and like I said, at whatever stage you're at, and you like what you're wearing, wear it and express yourself. Now, we shouldn't think like we're trying to force this. We shouldn't think of ourselves like, oh, I have to stand out, so I have to like this other thing. I have to be different in this way. I have to have this other opinion. Don't force it. Just keep it in mind and see this as a reminder. Like I said earlier, my younger self would thank me if I told him this. So as I'm getting older and I'm starting to notice some of these things, I'm sharing them with you guys as a loving way, a loving reminder to help everyone become the best version of themselves. And I used to get so fucking mad at my mom when she would dress me differently, and I told her, Mom, I just want khakis and a polo shirt. Like, what is the swag in that? Like, for real, like, that shit sounds horrible. But I was doing that not because I like the khakis and the Sperry's and the Nike Elite socks. I mean, yeah, the Nike Elite socks, like, I still want a pair. Those are like vintage shit. But it wasn't because I loved that. It was just because I was trying to look like everyone else. And every time we would go to the after school banquet where they do the perfect attendance awards, or like the basketball banquets, I'd be like, Mom, this is what this guy's wearing and this is what the other guy's wearing. And my mom would tell me, but Eddie, you can wear whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the exact same khaki color that they're wearing. You could still wear a khaki. I think khakis can be black, right? No, my bad. That's the material. Well, whatever. This channel ain't about fucking khakis. The point is, like I said earlier, we're destined for more. That's why we want other things. People tend to be too quick to follow the rules. Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes, yeah, I'm not saying talk over your parents, but break the rules sometimes. Go out of your comfort zone, be creative, express yourself. Don't just do everything that people tell you to do. Go try out your own stuff, see if it works. If it doesn't, fix it and rewrite whatever the rules say. In other words, write your own story. I don't want to get too preachy, but what I want you to take from this video is to embrace that difference that you have. Like what you like and be proud of it. And if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Go down there, leave a like, and also hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Nos vemos.